What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. The other day we checked out a weather-related topic regarding heat waves and what's going on with the heat in the UK. And a lot of people in the comment section of that video was talking about the droughts you guys have been having lately. I don't know if you say droughts or drought. Is it singular or is it plural?
Well, there might have been more than one this summer. I don't know. But this, we're talking about a singular.
Yeah,
right
but
now.
some people were saying they hadn't had rain in like 2 months.
What?
And for England, and I don't know if this is UK-wide or if this is specifically just England, maybe some of Wales, but all I know is a lot of people were mentioning they weren't having rain, it was very, very dry, and the fact they had been having wildfires.
Ooh, I hate that.
Yeah,
That's
me
scary.
too. Yeah, it is.
I remember on the video we watched a few days ago about all the heat waves you've had so far this summer. It looked like one of the I guess you call him correspondents, the guy out in the field talking in the interview. He looked like he was in the outback of Australia.
That. Yeah.
It was just like so dry and brown, and I'm used to England being green.
That's what I'm saying,
and the UK being so lush and green, and it was jarring, honestly.
It is.
The National Drought Group has declared almost three-quarters of England is now officially in drought.
Wow.
With levels said to be exceptionally low at 5 key reservoirs. Hosepipe bans and other restrictions are being imposed in a desperate attempt to conserve water. The summer's fifth heat wave is coming this week.
That's crazy.
That is crazy.
Most of England from tomorrow. We have all the details. We will have the latest from Hampshire and South Wales, where wildfires continue to rage dangerously out of control. And we begin tonight with Olivia Guthrie in West Sussex on the drought crisis. Now, Olivia, these really are extraordinary times, aren't they?
We see England here, we see Wales mentioned. How's Scotland doing in terms of
the
drought and wildfires and whatnot? Also, let us know, should we check out a video specifically about the wildfires going on? Because if they're having a bad enough drought, there could be quite a few wildfires happening.
They certainly are, Mary. And West Sussex is now officially in drought after the UK National Drought Group met today and decided to extend that classified area to include 71.3% of England. Officials say rather behind nature on this. The trees here have been showing signs of drought stress for at least a week.
It's got a lot of brown leaves and it's dropping leaves.
After nearly 2 months of no meaningful rainfall, the driest July on record.
Oh my goodness.
She said the driest July on record.
Oh, is it?
That's what she just said. Yeah.
Wow. That correlates to the actual heat waves we've been seeing, obviously, as well.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's been the full record. It was like June.
May, June, July, August. It was 4 months in a row.
Had hit 35 Celsius or more for the first time ever in all 4 months or something like that. Yeah.
Coming this week, the trees at high beaches in West Sussex are under an unprecedented assault.
There's virtually no water left in the ground. And so even things like large mature trees, like this beech tree here, large oak trees, really mature, sizable trees that have extensive underground root systems.
That's a big deal.
That's a big deal.
Water, and as a consequence, they're starting to die off.
Last week, half of England and all of Wales were classified as in drought.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so I think this answered my question. It seems like the down here on the southeast, and then up in half of Scotland seems to be having dry weather, others normal, but a huge part of Wales and England are in drought.
Today, the National Drought Group, made up of government figures, water bosses and farming officials, decided to extend that area to nearly 3/4 of England.
That's crazy.
The Environment Agency says 6 reservoirs across the UK are now notably low.
Oh my goodness.
With 5 others exceptionally so. The government says 10 new reservoirs are planned to future-proof our water security in the coming.
What am I looking at here? I can tell this looks dry.
Lake, right?
Yeah, but I mean, is this supposed to be like a beach, or is this?
No, I think that's showing where the water used to be.
Oh, you're right. Oh my goodness.
Is so low.
Oh my goodness. All around the whole outskirts of the lake here.
My guess is the water level used to come up to like right here.
Right, which would be about the height of this, it looks like, roughly, give or take. Wow, and you can see, I was looking originally in the, like, over here where I know this used to be just green, lush grass. Wow, guys.
Years. But building won't start until 2033 at the earliest. It isn't soon enough for our dwindling supplies.
So that must be a reservoir, not a lake. Same thing.
Are enjoying what is left of the water here at Ardingly Reservoir. But as you can see, I am standing on dry land, and I absolutely shouldn't be. The Environment Agency says almost all reservoirs across the UK are below normal levels.
We need to be making the country ready in terms of our infrastructure and as much as we can our nature so that we can adapt to conditions like this. We need to be ready for a 1 in 500 year drought in terms of our water infrastructure not being leaky, being able to move water around the country, being able to invest in things like reservoirs, and for agriculture, being able to store water. And we need to start that now because we're already in changing weather conditions.
With little or no rain forecast for much
farmland.
of the UK anytime soon, farmers are now warning there will be food shortages in the supermarkets.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that.
I didn't either.
Trees under stress are a sign of nature shutting down. The canaries in the coal mine for coming climate change.
So how much of your domestic food supply comes from domestic growth? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like specifically fruits and vegetables, you know. I don't know how this would affect the animal food production, but plant food production, obviously, this is going to be a big deal.
Fires have been burning around the Llanygynnudir Reservoir near Ebbw Vale in South Wales, at Home Fen Nature Reserve in Cambridgeshire, and in the New Forest next to the main A31, where we will be live in just a moment. Elsewhere, though, Nottinghamshire Fire and Rescue declared a major incident because of the pressure on resources of multiple incidents there. Well, Sangeeta Lal is in the New Forest for us. Now, Sangeeta, this fire has destroyed a really precious landscape, hasn't it?
Yes, this is rare heathland, ecologically important to the UK, that around 120 firefighters have been trying to protect overnight. And today we've seen plumes of smoke appearing across the skies here. We're told that's where crews have been trying to extinguish the flames, working in difficult conditions after months of relentless heat. And there is more to come.
This is the highest concentration of lowland heathland in Western Europe. Internationally protected, but there was no defence against the scorching temperatures.
I might know how destructive they can be. It's also been really, really dry. I was worried immediately. I know I have lots of friends who live in the village. My family home's in the village. Not great.
It started after a van caught fire yesterday on the A31, which cuts through this national park. Flames quickly spread, now covering 1 square kilometre of land here.
From the road?
That plume of smoke has appeared just in the last few minutes as firefighters tried to get control of the blaze, and it is a complex operation here. This land is made up of dense, dry plants like heather and gorse. It doesn't take much for them to catch fire.
The soil is still smouldering in Nottinghamshire after a major incident was declared there over the weekend. 60 firefighters were called to 2 separate incidents and have today warned people not to light barbecues as a spark could spread easily.
The scale and volume of the fire, the undergrowth, the forestry is very dry, so it is going to rapidly spread.
Residents
keep looking when cooking. Yeah, that's what I was looking at. I'd like to read the rest of that.
I guess, like, don't leave your stove unattended.
Yeah.
Growth, the forestry is very dry, so it is going to rapidly spread.
Residents have been told to avoid this peatland nature reserve in Cambridgeshire, with crews warning the ground is hard to extinguish. There is no getting away from this intense heat. A 5th spell of extreme weather is forecast later this week, set to scorch Britain's
The farmland is like easy to see.
Little to ignite.
How bad the drought is right now.
Let's go now to the fire near that reservoir in South Wales, and Rob Osborne is there. Rob, how bad are conditions where you are?
It's bad, Mary. It's the latest fire here in Wales. There seems to be one every day for weeks now. Look, I'll step out the way so you can take a closer look from the ground first. And we are near Ebbw Vale, and the smoke you see, well, the area affected is about 400 hectares, we're told, and the smoke can be
my goodness.
Since this fire started, in Gloucestershire on my way up here, about 10 miles away. I started seeing it, started smelling it. That's why people in the towns and the villages surrounding here on this moorland have been told to keep their doors and their windows closed.
You know, I just want to say that compared to some of the other areas, this area doesn't look quite as dry. Obviously, the fire is dry enough for the fire to happen, but it's like this is greener than a lot of the brown areas we've been seeing. So it makes me wonder, comparison, like...
But it's still like yellow, green.
Yeah,
it's not really lush, vibrant.
It doesn't look as lush as a lot of times we expect it to look.
And it could be a different type of greenery that doesn't completely...
This is horrifying to me, like the thought of a wildfire. You know, like it's just... knowing that it could happen at any time, especially in dry conditions like this, and if you live near it, like how potentially it could burn your house down or something. Like
it's really hard to
destroy part of your town, like stuff like that. Like
thank God for the men and women who go try to control those.
Absolutely,
I couldn't do it. But.
You see from the sky, from the aerial drones that we've had, how big this blaze is. We've got 2 fire crews, one from south and one from mid-Wales fighting it. If there is any good news, it's that there are no homes here. The bad news is that firefighters will be staying here for at least 4 days. And in even worse news, South Wales Fire and Rescue tell me tonight there are 2 new blazes in South Wales. One of those, they believe, has been started deliberately. So more work for those
Why?
Exhausted.
That's disgusting.
Here in South
like that's
Wales.
disgusting.
First Minister of Wales been up with tonight, backing calls.
Does that not make you mad? Stuff like that makes me so mad. Just makes me mad.
In the future.
Who does something like that? Like why? Granted, I mean, I guess it may not be proven. They think it is, but I mean, some people. I mean,
it was.
Just stuff like that. It's just disgusting. Yeah. Like why would someone ever do it? It just kind of. It kind of brings back the tree.
I was just gonna say that, like.
Yeah, what's the tree's name?
Sycamore Gap.
Sycamore Gap tree, and I never obviously visited the tree, but I love the tree, and I felt just disgust when that happened myself, and I've never even been there, and I feel the same way about someone starting a fire intentionally during a drought.
And in this instance, you want to say, oh, it was probably some young kid who didn't have the comprehension to, like, maybe wasn't super malicious, but then we learned about the Sycamore Gap tree, and I thought the same thing, and turns out, no, it was, like, grown adults who should know better.
Yeah.
But.
Visible for miles around last night, flames from the wildfire, which has had the Holme Fen Nature Reserve in its grip. Fire crews from Cambridgeshire and 3 neighbouring counties have fought the blaze day and night since Saturday morning. Their engines lined up along the roadside. The huge plumes of smoke still rising into the sky this morning.
I wonder where the water comes from to put the fires out here.
I know, I was wondering that too.
Some sort of reservoir.
Tools they've been using, 2 high-intensity hoses firing 14,000 litres of water a minute.
Whoa,
it's
per
intensely
minute?
hot work and dangerous.
Okay, I just want to say that unfortunately, it multiplies the problem with the reservoirs not having nearly enough water, and then you're having to remove a lot of the water from the reservoirs just to put out the fires. Well, I mean, where else would it be coming from?
The ocean is what I was thinking.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, a salt water, would they? I mean, I guess if they're close enough to it, but a lot of this looks like it's much more inland where they'd have to use reservoirs or something.
Yeah, that's pretty bad. And that's why it frustrates me so much to hear of someone setting a fire like this on purpose, knowing how much resources and how bad the conditions already are. It's just so frustrating.
Currently, we're just asking members of the public to just stay away from the area. We are actively trying to firefight. The area is incredibly dangerous. We've got voids in the ground, we've got trees falling down. Just keeping it out of the way and allowing us to firefight and try and extinguish the fire is the best help that they can give us.
Part of the Great Fen, Holme Fen is a well-known local attraction run by Natural England and popular with hikers and dog walkers. It's built on peat up to 10,000 years old, which is now burning and cannot be replaced.
Oh, man.
The complex ecosystem.
That's sad.
Dawn England, the co-owner of the Admiral Wells pub in the village of Holme, told us this was a blow to the local economy.
As a village, like, it's actually devastating. You know, we have walking groups, they all come, they park here and they'll all walk around, and just environmentally wise, you know, it's devastating for the area, I think.
The pub welcomed the charity Rapid Relief Team into its car park. They've been providing food and drink to tired firefighters who may have had neither for hours.
This is the first food some of them have seen, and they're heading off home, so it just means so much more to us to do this small service to such a big thing that's happening.
A level crossing over the busy main line between Peterborough and London has been causing delays and hampering fire crews' efforts. Trees, hedges and undergrowth have been destroyed, but senior officers say the fire is now contained.
That's good.
But it will be several days yet before they can be certain it has been permanently dealt with. Some of the firefighters working it up what I'll ironically call the coal face to know that there could be fire literally burning beneath their feet.
At this once
burns
nature
underground.
reserve, nature itself has been left fighting to survive. Flames ripped through Strawberry Hill Heath near Mansfield on Saturday. 12 fire crews rushed to stop it spreading. But as hours turned into days, they couldn't save it all. Around 36,000 square metres of woodland and undergrowth, now burnt and blackened.
We've lost quite a lot of trees, heather and everything else. The crews are still working within this area, and we're just looking for hot spots within the ground. And if we just move further forward here, we can just see one here just smouldering away in the ground. It's just here, it's just where we've probably not quite got enough water into the ground. And this can still potentially cause us a hazard, so that's why the crews are still working, even though it looks as if there's no major fire. But this is what we're looking for to stop any further fire spread.
That risk hasn't gone away. Crews say the fire could still be burning underground.
That's crazy.
And with dry leaves and logs scattered across the site, the threat of it reigniting remains high.
Man,
so
that would feel like an impossible job.
It does, and so it makes me wonder. That's a completely different type of fire to put out. A fire that's underground, meaning that if the fire's above ground, you probably need a lot less water to put it out compared to down. You've got to
saturate completely, and it's dried out.
And during a drought, that is the absolute worst type of fire you could probably have, because you're going to have to use so much more water to do that.
Yeah, and then you got to go back and make sure
it's out. Even if you look from a distance and you don't see anything, on fire, you can see that smoldering taking place under the ground.
Crews were first called at around 2 o'clock on Saturday afternoon. By Sunday, some were being redeployed to another fire just a few miles away at Sherwood Pines. With resources working
in the same
across
area.
Both sites, the service declared a major incident.
I think resources will be stretched. Whether they will struggle, I don't think so. But again, significant resources from multiple neighbouring counties. There are methods in place for us to call upon those services. If Nottinghamshire Fire and Rescue Service are being stretched around, we do have support from other services.
The trust which helps protect and restore this landscape will now hold sessions
Sherwood Forest
teaching
Trust.
visitors how to keep it safe during prolonged dry weather.
We do believe that most people don't intentionally want to start a fire or don't want to start a fire to this scale.
Most normal people.
Devastation. So how do we enjoy our green spaces safely? And how do we connect and protect what we enjoy? Most people visiting want to enjoy the environment they're in. They won't next year.
After a summer of wildfires across Britain and Europe, the threat has now reached the ancient landscape Nottinghamshire is known for. A forest centuries in the making, where damage done in hours could take years to repair.
Irreplaceable.
Lewis Warner, ITV News.
We just basically had to abandon our cars.
What started as a vehicle fire on the eastbound
Oh my
carriageway
goodness,
of
look at the
A31
flames.
soon became much more serious, with the flames spreading to the tinder-dry roadside. And then the fire
takes is one
crossed
spark,
to the other
huh?
side of the road.
So it basically came across the dual carriageway here. I think they were going to opt for cutting this dual carriageway bit and getting us to go up and try and go back through, take the Lyndhurst exit.
The central reservation barriers were removed so some drivers could escape the situation, but about 20 cars had to be abandoned. By late evening, the flames could be seen from many miles away. This was the view from the Purbeck Hills.
Oh my goodness.
You can just see the Bournemouth Eye and Bournemouth Pier, and then beyond it is the fire on the A31 up in the New Forest. And I've got to be honest, from my footage earlier on the drone, that seems to have got worse.
By early morning, the extent of the damage was much more clear. 250 acres of heathland destroyed either side of the A31.
Oh my God.
26 fire crews had worked through the night, but one big challenge was getting water to the site. One source was a small lake, the water transported through many kilometres with pipes and hoses.
Is amazing.
Did you hear? Many kilometers of pipes and hoses.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
That blows my mind.
Yeah, that's mind-blowing. Many kilometers. I don't know how many kilometers, but many. The fact that it's kilometers in general is amazing.
How awful, like accident or not, how awful would you feel if that was you in your car that had started this? Like, I would feel the worst person in the world.
I mean, even if it's not your fault, yeah, you're gonna feel like
so much guilt.
Yeah, you're gonna be like, oh my goodness, what? What happened to the car? What happened?
I don't know.
Was it just overheated or something?
I think, and some kind of spark from.
Man, that's crazy.
We expect to be on scene for a number of days. We appreciate it's causing a huge disruption to the local community, but our priority is to protect property, protect life, and clearly the natural environment as well.
The chaos caused by the fire didn't just affect motorists. Some local people were also left
I love the building, by the way.
Unable to get home last night due to closed roads and congestion.
Because of all the traffic and the fires, I was effectively displaced last night. I couldn't get home. Someone told me the motorway was closed. The other back route was about a 2-hour, chockers and not being able to get back.
There are also concerns here for the local wildlife.
Hold on.
What truck is that?
That's what I was about to ask. What kind of truck is this, guys? I think this is just a regular
Some kind of emergency services.
This is a regular lorry, right? I don't know what this is right here. If anyone knows,
cage.
Let me know in the comments. That's something I want to look more into. Is some of your work trucks, if you will, like the different EMS or the different
Emergency
first responder trucks, and I find that stuff fascinating.
Not being able to get back.
There are also concerns here for the local wildlife. The
is that to carry
to
wildlife?
A wide variety of rare birds and reptiles.
Another week.
Oh my goodness!
In another location.
Wales.
In Ebervale. The fire service says the conditions have been challenging.
Wow.
The smoke from the fire drifted for
It looks
many
like a
miles.
beautiful area too. It does. Look at that! Wow.
Oh my goodness.
But it's not the only one our firefighters
have been
tackling in recent weeks. It is.
Oh my goodness, guys! This
I
is
would hate to see such beautiful landscape.
Oh, that is a beautiful landscape.
Incinerated.
Wow, that's all. Wildfires are sad anyway.
Yeah.
But when obviously it affects people's homes and stuff like that, but also when it affects just beautiful areas like this.
Being both mentally and physically demanding. In North Wales alone, firefighters had to take on multiple blazes in different locations, stretching the service.
Well, as you can see from the landscape,
oh my goodness,
we were dealing with a significant wildfire within the Conway area. We were also at the same time dealing with a very, very large wildfire in the Harlech, the Rhinogydd area as well. But what you see here is a devastation caused by a wildfire. This one in particular was over 200 acres, and the one in Harlech running at the same time was over 2,000 acres.
2,000?
But it has an impact on the front line. And unions say more resources are needed for
How
their
did that
members.
happen? They spread it after?
I've heard members saying, we've got fire stations that average 20 fire calls a month, and some of those fire stations are averaging, July alone, over 80 fire calls.
Wow.
Members on the fire ground for
4 times.
14, 15 hours, and then having to go to their primary employment as well.
Oh my gosh.
We need investment.
See the contrast?
We need more firefighters on the ground. We need better equipment, more resilience.
the First Minister has backed calls for a wildfire summit in Wales, bringing together all of the fire and rescue services to see what can be done to prevent these in the future.
We really welcome the opportunity to come together as Wales with our colleagues in the other fire and rescue services, but also our partners, to think about how we can work with colleagues to prevent these fires happening in the first place, because the best wildfire is one that doesn't start in the first place.
Yeah, that's true.
But right now, it's about tackling the emergency at hand. The fire in Ebervale is estimated to cover 400 hectares. Firefighters are expected to remain on the scene for several more days, with everyone hoping this will be the last. The terrain itself, I mean, we can see tractors here, there's more tractors coming on side now. The terrain itself here makes it difficult, doesn't it, to challenge?
It does, it's a very difficult terrain.
Are they carrying water up there?
I think so.
In the ground.
Must be.
Again, and
I
that's
didn't
why
think
you
about
see
using
now behind me,
tractors.
we are using everything we can to tackle this fire.
As that tractor goes behind you, we're standing here looking at this fire. You have the help of your colleagues literally on the border with Mid and West Wales fire, but not too far away from here, more fires tonight.
We have two significant incidents ongoing at the moment that we have sufficiently resourced. Again, those areas we would ask people to keep their doors and windows closed. Those incidents will continue on. We do believe one of those incidents have been deliberately set, and we would remind people that
is that a different one?
The
same one?
Custodial sentence, and we're working with our fire crime units and the local police force to pass this message across.
And we better say where those places are. One's
Certainly.
Ferndale and the Rhondda.
It is, and one's Blaenavon then.
Thank you very much. Good luck to you and your colleagues in the coming days. So yes, a huge challenge for firefighters here in Wales, north, south and mid, and the battle to contain this goes on.
Guys, this is much worse than I thought.
Yeah, I didn't realize the extent of the wildfire situation.
Yeah, that number one, but the drought itself, which is obviously causing the wildfires.
The fact that it's so dry that huge trees with giant root systems that span, I don't know how much,
very deep,
like how far in the ground,
very deep,
they don't have any water. Like,
yeah,
that's a big deal.
That's a huge deal, and it's just, this is something I don't really have any experience with. I mean, we've gone through periods where it's dry, but we've never,
not on this level.
Yeah, nothing on this level, and it's hard to believe. It's hard to imagine, you know, a large portion of the UK is dealing with this because, you know, before I started this channel, if anyone had asked me what do I think the weather and stuff is like in the UK, I would have said mild, very lush and green, rain on a regular basis and whatnot. Just know that a lot of you guys are dealing with no rain for 2+ months during a period where you're having one of the hottest summers ever in the country. That's just, you know, mind-boggling to me. It's hard to believe that's going on.
Yeah, we feel for you.
Yeah, I hope that, you know, obviously, I hope that the wildfires, number one, aren't affecting anyone here. I'm sure, statistically, you know, I'm sure some of you have been experiencing wildfires in your area.
Who has,
and that's unfortunate, you know. Guys, this seems like
a big deal.
A big deal, and it seems like a summer I think you guys are definitely going to remember. It seems like it's a
one for the books.
Yeah, well, obviously it is. I mean, I don't know how many wildfires you guys are having, but it seems like you're having quite a few wildfires considering there's multiple in just small areas, and they seem like they're going on all over the country. Guys, let us know in the comments, how's it been in your area? Hopefully at this point, the 5th heat wave has come and gone.
Yeah,
you know,
it was short-lived.
We just learned a little bit about that on Saturday, but that video was, if you didn't see that video, it wasn't so much just about the heat wave. It's about how you guys are dealing with more and more heat, you know, in recent years and particularly this year, and that the country, the country hasn't been built in a way to deal with it, and so what's going to change going forward in terms of different things you can do to
relieve it.
Relieve it with, you know, schools, obviously homes, and all sorts of buildings and whatnot. But that was a very interesting video as well. So if you haven't seen that, please go back and check out that video, guys. But I think that's it for us today, guys. Thank you so much for stopping by. Please click that like button. Feel free to drop your comments or suggestions about this video or others. And don't forget to subscribe to continue to follow us on our journey. Until next time, peace.
Bye.